40 plus years, the biggest metal band in the world, millions of albums sold, and packed out stadiums all across the world. So why haven't Metallica ever played the Super Bowl? Is it the politics, the image, the NFL? Are Metallica too heavy for halftime? And if they did finally take the stage, what would it actually look like? Let's break it down. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. This has come up for years. Fans even petitioned for the Super Bowl 50 when it was also in the Bay Area, but the NFL has always seemed to view Metallica as, quote-unquote, too heavy for halftime. In 2015, fans launched a Change.org petition to have Metallica perform at Super Bowl 50 on February 7th, 2016 at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. The campaign argued that as Northern Californian legends, the band was the ideal fit for the Bay Area venue, gathering thousands of signatures to bring heavy metal to the halftime show. While not a formal public rejection, the NFL has historically overlooked Metallica for the Super Bowl halftime show, often favoring pop or more mainstream acts over heavy metal. Reports suggest the league viewed them as too heavy for the halftime spectacle, despite being a local Bay Area band. They were passed over for Super Bowl 50 in favor of Coldplay. February of 2016, Metallica did play a sold-out show at AT&T Park in San Francisco as the official warm-up show for Super Bowl 50, too heavy for halftime. Hetfield said the band was unlikely to ever play the Super Bowl. I can't dance, I can't jump around, I'm not an acrobat, I'm not a variety show, you know? We are artists, we are a band, we love playing songs, we are not going to be flying through the air on a sparkly star with a unicorn. Which would be nice, actually. He also spoke about the Super Bowl with the Associated Press. Our fan base is really wide, but when it comes to the Super Bowl halftime show, I feel like that ship has sailed. We're not a variety show. Yeah. Ulrich also voiced a strong interest in playing the Super Bowl halftime show, especially since the 2026 game will take place near Metallica's hometown of San Francisco, where the band headlined 2 shows just this past June. Fuck yeah, of course we would, he told Stern. First of all, we would do it. Second of all, to do it in San Francisco would be a dream come true and would be the right fit. Certainly as somebody who's represented San Francisco all over the world and shouted for decades about San Francisco and our love of the Bay Area, that part of it is the right fit. He added, however, ultimately, it is not our decision. So the real question isn't would they do it, it's how would you do it so that it actually works? So if Metallica ever did this, it would not be full songs. It's always this sort of medley format, and it would have to be sort of an abbreviated, high-impact medley that just punches everyone in the face. Have to be super recognizable songs, which luckily they have a bunch of those. So I thought about what would those songs be. So it's roughly 12 to 15 minutes, and I've put this together beautifully. You're going to hear it. Now, their 4 most popular songs, according to the internet, are Inner Sandman, Nothing Else Matters, Master of Puppets, and One. I don't think you can play Nothing Else Matters at the Super Bowl. I think it's too slow. And I don't think you can do One. I think One is too heady. It's too intense. Well, intense isn't the right word, but I don't think you can do One. The contenders would be other than Sandman and Puppets, which I think have to be in. I think other contenders that would make sense in a Super Bowl format are For Whom the Bell Tolls, Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death maybe, Memory Remains maybe, Battery, and Sabbath True. So I've put this order together, and I'm just going to play it for you guys so that you can be surprised. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to imagine that you are at the Super Bowl, or you're watching from a lovely place at home. Metallica, your favorite band, our favorite band, is finally playing the Super Bowl, and this is how it goes down. Okay, so here's what happened is my Metallica medley got flagged by YouTube because I used these live versions, and whatever they were, they got flagged, and so they made me take that part out of the episode. But what I'm going to attempt to do here is I'm going to cut it all up, and then we're just going to react to it, but I wanted you to be able to hear some of it and at least hear the transitions, because I want to know what you think about it. So here we go. We're going to start it right now, and then I'll talk through it a little bit, and then I want to hear your thoughts about what worked, what didn't work. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the band formerly too heavy for halftime, Metallica. Metallica gives you heavy.
All right, we start with Sad. Wouldn't the place go fucking nuts for this? Dude, if they play it in this groove a little slower. Everyone doing the haze. All right, first verse. Whole crowd sings that part. Hell, even get Snoop Dogg out there. We'll take Snoop Dogg. All right, into the solo section. All right, then this big stop. Into Fuel. How fucking sick would that be? Tons of pyro. First verse. All right, into the breakdown. All right, all the haze. Into the solo. All right, another chorus. All right, check this out. Right into puppets. I don't know, maybe you could have like drones with like puppet strings coming down. I don't know. All right, chorus 1. You could have the wristbands light up on the masters. All right, check this out. Crowd's going nuts. Jason Momoa slowly dropped down into the stadium, dressed as the Sandman. They talk about how Virginia Tech registered an earthquake because people were going so nuts during this song. Imagine this at the Super Bowl. How about maybe 2 drum kits and Dave Grohl's on one of them as a special guest? This whole place would be going nuts during this part.
Super Bowl.
Huge pyro moment right here. All these haze. Check this out. Pyro. Oh boy. Every firework in the world goes off. People are high-fiving and hugging.
Super Bowl. Together at last.
All right, for fun, maybe a little frayed ends of sanity. People are smashing beer cans on their forehead. They're even smashing it on their wives' heads. Well, there you have it. That's my submission for what Metallica should play at the Super Bowl. What works, what doesn't work, what do you think? What should be changed? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thanks for listening. Catch you next time. Peace.